year when you go into a season with LSU baseball, there's one goal. Now, most years, I know what you're going to say. Well, Blake, yeah, that's getting to Omaha, winning a national title. That is correct. But I think that there's something else in that as well. That postseason runs through the box. And with this series victory, guys, you've done it. It was, of my humble opinion, all week, all that you had to do was, if you won this series and you got to a minimum 19 conference SEC wins, that you were going to be hosting and will be a top 8 seed. Guys, congratulations. Congratulations to Jay Johnson and company. Guys, I don't care what anybody's going to tell you over the next couple of weeks. I don't care if they go into Hoover and they lose their first game. Doesn't matter to me. Now, I'm sure they want to win a game to put a stamp on it to get to 20 wins. Guys, you're going to be a top 8 seed. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, you're going to be a top 8 seed. There's no way around it. You're going to fall from being ranked number 1 and, because the RPI says so. The RPI does not matter. Guys, they want the box for 1,000% certainty to have postseason baseball in it, and they're going to get it because you took the series. You have 19 conference wins. Last time you were number 1 when you finished the regular season, I will add, was 2023. You're going to do that again this season. Nevertheless, we're live. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Share to all of those groups. If you're on Facebook, and to all of your social media pages, you're watching us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, and subscribe. Speaking of top 8, Father Abear says Blake is the top 8 seed. Absolutely undeniable lock. In my humble opinion, it is. In my humble opinion, it is, yes. Because I don't see a world where, guys, the RPI for me in this case means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're going to get the double bye in the SEC tournament. You're a top 3 team. The number 2 team in Arkansas, you just took 2 of 3 from, and I don't see a world where you're not top 8. I mean, I would be absolutely flabbergasted. Now, would you want to go in the tournament and win the first game? Sure, go right on ahead. That's cool with me. Fine by me. Do whatever it is that you got to do, but I feel very confident that that is your case and you getting that double bye. Congratulations, man, you're here. Postseason, regardless, is going to run through the box. And, yes, I do think it locked it up. I 1,000% believe that it locked it up. And I still see the Jake Brown narrative still floating out there. Hopefully we've put those to rest. Travis says, you're right. Road runs through the box, without a doubt. And this team's better. And listen, Thursday night absolutely sucked. We talked about these games, and we talk about this every post game. We take games in sample sizes of one holistic game. One holistic game. And we'll do that here again tonight. Randy Jones says, if the RPI was any significance whatsoever, don't you think Coach Jay would have a top 10 strength of schedule instead of the number 32? Well, teams aren't playing him. And I think that's going to go into consideration. Guys, the president of the selection committee is from Hammond. He's the AD of Southeastern. Blake, why does that matter? Well, the reason that matters is because he ain't going to do what Jay wants him to do. He going to do what Jay says. You best believe that. You best believe that. There are a lot of reasons why he's going to do what Jay tells him to do. Now, seeding's going to be seeding. I know that Kendall Rogers in D1 baseball has put Southeastern in the Baton Rouge Regional. I highly doubt that they let that happen. I highly doubt that he allows that to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. We got lots to get into. Let's talk about this game here. Before we get to that, let's pay the bills around this thing. Let's talk about our good friends over at betonline.ag. Guys, use that promo code BELIEVE50. That's BELIEVE50, BLEAV50, to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, where the action starts. And our good friends over at Grand Slam Heating and Air. Guys, the summer is here. If you're outside right now, Just go look at how hot it is outside, how humid it is outside. Summer is here. Get your AC maintenance before it's too late. If you're in the Baton Rouge area, all the way in the North Shore, they will come out and assist you. Get GrandSlamAir.com. That's getgrandslam.air.com. Take advantage of their $18 a month AC system and AC repair system. And that is $18.95 a month. Guys, we're going to be doing it. I told you I was going to be doing it. I need to get over to them soon. I'll do that this week because I need to be doing it, and we need to get our AC service at the Ruffino household. So get GrandSlamAir.com. That's getGrandSlamAir.com. Last but not certainly, not even close to being least, our good friends over at Service Hawk Digital Media with right leads, smart systems, and real growth. Get a marketing system that works for you by going over to servicehawk.io. That's servicehawk.io to get those right leads, smart systems with real growth. That's Service Hawk Digital Media, where they soar above the competition. If you're an HVAC work, generator pros, electrical pros, they do it all. You need to get out there today. Caleb Falk says it aggravates me they favor Arkansas after we beat them. I got to be honest with you, man. I don't trust anything that D1 baseball puts out there from a projection standpoint. They're never right. Maybe they get a top one seed, the number one overall seed, because they're never really right, ever. Now they'll get probably the top. They'll never get it right in order, is what I'm saying. Now the Sunday before, maybe Saturday night before, they'll get some of those things right because of sourcing. Guys, you're a top 8 national seed, in my humble opinion. I don't see a way around it. I saw the narrative by The Advocate last week. You haven't locked it up. Well, I didn't necessarily disagree with that because, guys, you lose 2 out of 3 to South Carolina, and there are teams in the SEC like Georgia, Vandy, that have better records than you in the SEC, then yeah, I could see that happening. The RPI is the RPI, man. They're not going to load through that. They're not going to go through that. All right, a couple more. We'll get a couple comments here, then we'll get moving. Taylor says, love Jay, but I feel he overmanages the bullpen with how inconsistent our bullpen is. When a dude looks good against the first batter, I think you need to ride him, not switch him after another batter. So you agree with him after one thing when Connor Williams came in and got a strikeout to Jones. So Rizzi got a ground out, and then Williams came in and got a strikeout. Because there's reasons that they're doing things. He's got a game. He knows what he's doing. Like, we're mad about the bullpen situations. I mean, like, riding because he got out a batter. Guys, Maverick Rizzi got out the first batter and then walked 3 the very next 3 batters he saw. He's trying to get guys action here, man. He's trying to get some guys action. All right. Let's get moving here. So the showdown of Game 3 versus your former head coach and Paul Maneri was just now. And quite honestly, the start of this game was a little bit rough because you didn't get started off in the right fashion that you had wanted to. Top of the first inning, Curio, first pitch of the game, hits a line drive single over the shortstop's head. You're off and rolling. But Bear Jones would hit into a 5-4-3 double play. And Danny Dickinson would strike out on a slider for you to go 1-2-3 in the top of the first. One thing that I will point out this weekend, I do feel like that guys, some of these narratives out here are so stupid. What was I saying? There is something this weekend that I thought that kind of manifested itself more than base running this weekend was how many double plays you hit into. You hit into 2 yesterday, you hit into 2 on Thursday, and then you lead off an inning where Bear Jones hits one in the first inning after the line drive single. That is a little concerning to me. Maybe you need to put some guys in motion, but there were a lot, and it's killers, man. You get guys on base and you go 1, 2, 3 because of a 5-4-3 double play. That's a killer. Not a lot you could say about Jones. He hit the ball hard right at somebody. It's very unfortunate, and that is somewhat of baseball. But at the same time, you hit into a lot of them this weekend. A lot of people made fun of, I say made fun. Well, they did make fun of a lot about what Danny Dickinson did yesterday when he let the ball hit him. Guys, I think that would have been another double play. You would have had 3 yesterday. I mean, listen, you're hitting the ball, but sometimes, man, I don't know, man. It's a lot. I was going to say sometimes you just, I feel like some of the at-bats when you did hit into them were some lackadaisical stuff, but it is what it is, man. I am going to continue to monitor that from my own personal standpoint. Anthony Ianson comes in. He also goes 1, 2, 3, but he would need some defensive help. He gets hauled to ground out to third base. He walks Jackson, the 2-hole hitter, and then he gets Casimir to hit it to Danny Dickinson for a 4-3 putout, but Jared Jones would make a frozen rope third to third base, and Michael Braswell would stay in there and make an incredible out. Put a star next to that one because it was a great throw by Jared Jones, but it was also a really great play by Michael Braswell to get the out. Not only that, but Braswell was so damn confident that he got the dude out. He's yelling at Jay, the microphone thing that everybody does, right? Like, hey, I got him. The universal review it. Review it. And he was right, man. When kids are that confident and they're that adamant, I mean, I felt instantly that Braswell knew that he got him, and he did. Gus, one thing, and I want to bring this up. The play with Casimir where you get the 4-3 put up, but Jones makes a frozen rope throw from first base to third to Michael Braswell of something that we have not brought up a lot here. One thing that we have not brought up is just how much better this team is defensively and how much better defensively they've been under Jay than in previous years. Guys, they've been very good. You got that double play. You had another one from Danny Dickinson to Stephen Milam. Stephen Milam's been really great at shortstop. You've been just, I would say, borderline exceptional in moments. You've had your moments in the field, and some of them have cost you at times and in situations. But, guys, I remember the K-State relay that you had when Case and Evans came in and you got the plate out at home, and you don't lose that game. You win it because you make an incredible play out at home. I think even to now, to the end of the season, I think of the the Josh Pearson play, the double play where he slides, gets up, fires it, gets the out. I think of the one today. I think of the double play today from Danny Dickinson to Stephen Milam to Bear Jones. I think of the Bear Jones play where Stephen Milam makes a throw that's up and elevated, and Big Bear's got to go up there and get it, and he does, and he comes down with it. So I wanted to point that out, and I made a note there. Look, we've gone this entire regular season not talking about how the defense has been very stellar, and it has been very stellar. Guys, that national championship year that you had, my goodness, it was bad, right? It had its moments. This year, for what it's worth, you've been very exceptional in moments and times defensively. So I wanted to point that out. But you do go 1, 2, 3, a little unconventional in the double play. Nevertheless, you got it. Top of the second, Jake Brown comes in, starting against a right-handed pitcher. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that he would start against a right-handed pitcher? And I tweeted this because it happened again today. And I know a lot of you've seen it. It's over like 10,000 views. So I know a lot of you have already seen this. Jake Brown strikes out. No big deal. Dude had an exceptional day. Struck out his first 2 ABs. It is what it is. But he gets a double later in the game, or hits a home run later in the game, and the perception is, man, if he would have been starting every game. Because I just got sent somebody saying you're not a top 8 seed. I vehemently disagree with that. Guys, you're not going to fall out of it. a tournament loss in a single elimination tournament is not going to, it's going to kick you out of the top 8? No, it's not, bro. Like, no, it's not. Like, miss me with that shit. No, it is not. I think it's foolish for anybody to say that, but that's just me. This Jake Brown thing's getting out of control. I like Jake Brown. He's a great player. Guys, he's hitting below 200. And then I asked some of you, who would you put in for Jake Brown? I had take out Curiel. Guys, no, and it's not going to happen. Will not happen. One person said take out Ethan Fry. That sure, what? Against left-handed pitching? Guys, you have an abundance of riches. And quite frankly, anybody saying that, I think, is wrong. I think it's wrong. So you did what you needed to do. You put him back in the lineup against a right-handed pitcher, and he struck out twice, and he hit a home run, and he doubled. Great. That sounds fantastic. But I do see the narrative still being out there. I don't understand that one either. My mind gets blown every time I see that. But in the top of the second, he does strike out. Fry hits a ground ball to the third baseman, and Stephen Milam flies out into left field. You're out 1-2-3 again. Bottom of the second, Anthony Ianson got in some trouble here. To lead it off, Wyoda hit a line drive single into right field. Hollins hit a fielder's choice 4-3 where you couldn't get the double play. 2 balls hit too weakly. Carry on walked, so you got runners on first and second with 1 out. Stone strikes out. The first strikeout of the evening for Anthony Ianson, who had, I thought, a really good day for what it's worth. Still a really good day by Anthony Ianson. Scobie, the freshman, who, guys, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Scobie lit us up this series. He hit the game-tying home run against you on Thursday. He had a pair of hits yesterday, and then he hits a line drive single, RBI line drive single today to break the score open for them, for both teams. The kid, the freshman at third base, Paul's got a dude there, I think, and he certainly showed it this weekend versus LSU. So, tip of the cap to Scobie. But he hits a RBI double line drive in the left field that would plate the first run. So, guys, sometimes dudes have your number. It is what it is. And, I mean, he hit against everybody. He had a hit yesterday against Cade Anderson. He got an RBI double against you and then against Ianson, and then he hit the home run to tie it on Thursday. Tip of the cap to that kid. He's going to be – I think he might be a pretty good player. But you do give up a run, and Braylon, the 9-hole, strikes out looking on a 9-pitch AB by Anthony Ianson. That, after the second inning, man, I was a little worried for Ianson because that pitch count was up. It was really up. I think it was, 44 pitches through 2 innings. He worked out of it, and he was able to go 7. But through 2 innings, you were like, oh, shit, if you got to go to the pen early, what happens then? Top of the third, Michael Braswell gets hit by the pitch. Aaron Beatty and Stanfield would fly out to right field and left field, and Derek Curiel on the third pitch would ground out to the shortstop, and you're out of the inning. So for the first 3 innings at the plate, guys, you had some lackluster at ABs. It is what it is there, but you had some lackluster ABs. And I feel that way every time that we talk about this team. There's only a handful of times that I can remember that you just started off a game where you just started pounding on somebody, and you got to go normally this team every time for what it's worth. They got to go through the lineup at least once before they kind of start really getting going here. And that's been them this entire season. It was certainly that again today. After a little bit of trouble in the second inning, Anthony Ianson turns around in the bottom of the third and gets back-to-back strikeouts from the 1 and 2 hitters in the lineup for South Carolina and Hall and Jackson, and he gets Casimir to ground out to Jared Jones on a ridiculous play by Jerry Jones. Let me stop right there. Bear Jones has made himself a lot of money at first base. He's made a lot of money. Defensively, outside of the attempt to start him at third base or play him at third base against Northwestern State, he's been pretty exceptional over there at first. Gus, I've seen a lot of you a lot of times talk about development. Bear Jones under Jay Johnson defensively is development. It's development. The dude legitimately has gone from, man, is he going to be able to scoop this out, to making ridiculous catches at first, being a pick machine over there. Made a ridiculous play by his own self this time. And he's come up with some clutch plays. He came up with a clutch play for you on Thursday that goes unrecognized because you lost that game. And the pitch before, or the batter before the wild pitch that ended the game. So it is what it is there, but he's been ridiculous at first in a good way. Speaking of Jared Jones and speaking of baseball and speaking of momentum, you know, every time that you have a really good play, it's always funny how confidence breeds momentum and how baseball will find you. The last out in the third inning was to Jared Jones. And the first guy up in the fourth inning was Jared Jones. And baseball is a game where confidence matters religiously. Religiously. And I thought that you see these in baseball often where you get in a situation. Hold on one second. But the ball will always find you to help you gain momentum. And Jared Jones had a massive, massive series this weekend versus South Carolina. He makes a ridiculous play in the field, and he comes right around in the top of the fourth and hits a home run in left center field. The guy's almost left the stadium. And almost left the stadium. And with the wind blowing the way that it was, in 20 mile an hour, 16 to 20 mile an hour winds, he blasts one to get the game tied. Guys, Jared Jones had a massive weekend. And what is funny is that this time last year was about the time that Bear Jones would start getting really hot. When he would go in the regional and have ridiculous at-bats, hit with a lot of power in that Chapel Hill regional, and see the ball very well. And I thought he saw the ball very well this weekend. He did have the double play to start off the game. But, man, I mean, a dude that hit, what, 4 home runs this weekend? 4 massive bombs by Jared Jones this weekend. That's ridiculous. I know he's playing scrub U, but, guys, other teams have been able to play South Carolina, too, that's in the SEC. A lot of teams, like Arkansas, got to play against them. Arkansas got to play against South Carolina and Mizzou just the way that you did. Tennessee got to play against them. I mean, A&M, 3 of their wins, 3 of their 10 wins came against them. So I don't really want to hear that, hey, man, you know, whatever you want to think. I was about to say something really stupid, but God, I hate when you got to sneeze and then you don't. That's what I almost did there. Still feeling underneath the weather a little bit. Not feel bad, just sinus is killing me. Sinus is absolutely killing me. But Jared Jones had a massive weekend, man. And it's going to be interesting to see if he does what he did at the end of last year, if he puts that together again this year while you're a top 8 national seed. Danny Dickinson, the very next one, gets hit by the pitch. So with a runner on first, you got Jake Brown and Ethan Fry that strike out. You do have a situation where Danny Dickinson advanced on a wild pitch and then stole third base. You got to get runners in when you have no outs and you got a runner on first. Guys, Brown and Fry, who Fry did not have a great day, but man, you just got to deliver there. It sucks, but back-to-back strikeouts kind of kills the momentum of leading the home run off by Jones and a hit by pitch by Danny Dickinson. Stephen Milam would walk in the bottom of the fourth after the strikeout. So you got runners on first and third, and Michael Braswell on a 2-0 pitch would fly out to the first baseman to end that run there. Bottom of the fourth, Wayota would hit into a 6-3 or 6-3 or have a 6-3 put out, excuse me. The very next hitter, Hollins, hits a home run in the right field off of Anthony Ianson. The score is 2-1. Look, I don't think that Ianson had his best stuff today. I don't. But I don't remember Ianson, and ironically, Ianson's only given up 4 home runs on the season. I have not seen him hit that hard. Ball flying out to right, but Hollins, that would have been out anywhere. He demolished that baseball. Tip of the cap to that young man. Great swing. He put one on it. But sucks, man. You're struggling through 4 innings there, and they retake the lead. That sucked. So you do have a situation where you tie the game, you get a couple of runners on, you should have capitalized, you couldn't. The bottom half of that inning, they retake the lead. Just, man, not a good situation. Not a good situation there. Line drive, single into right field by Carry-On, but Anthony Ianson would get out of the inning by getting a fly out to third base and a fly out to center field with Stones and Scobie. So 2-1 going into the top of the fifth. Aaron Beatty hits a ground ball single into the 5-6 hole. Chris Stanfield would walk. Derek Curiel would hit a line drive into right field, and bases would be loaded. For guess who? Jared Jones. Problem is that Jared Jones again would hit into a 5-4-3 double play, and a run would score, though, to tie it. The double plays were killer this weekend, man. They were killer this weekend. You bases loaded, no outs, and within a blink of an eye, they get 2. That one stung. You could have blown the game open right there, but you didn't. Could have really taken control of the game right there. I love the run scores. I'm glad you put the ball in play. I'm glad you put the ball in play with no outs, because if you do a job, regardless if they get the double play, you tie the game up. So that is a plus. The minus is man, if you just put that ball in the air, would have been a lot better. But another 5-4-3 double play by Jones with the bases loaded and no outs. But Danny Dickinson would answer the call. And this is why, again, situations like you had in the 4th inning kind of manifest themselves of how good you could have been today. You had a situation where you got the home run by Jones, you got a hit by pitch, and then you had a strikeout, walk, and fly out. You're unable to produce there. You have the bases loaded with no outs, and you get 1 run, and even if Jones would have gotten out, the very next batter is Danny Dickinson, where he hits a 2-run bomb. And you just could have done a lot more damage. So the run is great. The double play, you could have really extended something there. Really could have extended something there. So if we're going to nitpick something, the fourth and fifth innings would be the ones that I would kind of nitpick a little bit on. But it is what it is. Danny Dickinson did deliver for you, though. Danny had a great series, too. Your 2, 3, and 4 hitters had really good series. And Dickinson, Fry, and Jared Jones. I don't remember a series where Danny had 2 home runs in a series, but if he continues to stay hot, that would be great. That would be very great. But 2-run home run in the left field, good for Danny. Give me the earring. You're not tied anymore in 3-2, and then you would not look past. You would not look back after that. That when you took the lead for the first time is when you would settle in and you really get at it. Jake Brown hits a ground ball single to first base. It hits off the umpire, which should have been a double, but that's neither here nor there. Ethan Fry would fly out into center field, and they're out of the inning. So you do score 3 runs on a bases loaded where you have no outs. Anytime I say this, anytime you get a crooked number, maybe you can nitpick some things here or there, but I'm not mad at it at all. Some things that could have been better, but 3 runs in 1 inning is massive. So not a lot you could say. Bottom of the 5th, Anthony Ianson goes 1, 2, 3. He would have Braylon would hit a 6-3 or have a 6-3 put out where Jones would leap up into the air like he's super dude, Superman, on a wild throw by Milam, but he was able to get the out. A fly out by Hall into right field, and Jackson would hit a ground ball to Stephen Milam. You're out of it 1, 2, 3. Top of the 6th, line drive into right field. And E1, when Braswell came up the very next play, no bats or no double play, an error by the pitcher. So you got runners on first and third and no outs. Guys, again, this today in innings 4, 5, and 6, you had opportunities to run rule these dudes. An opportunity to run rule South Carolina in game 3. And in innings 4, 5, and 6, you got in some really good situations that you could have capitalized on, but you don't. You have a line drive single, an error, which could have been a double play, but they gifted you the error, so you got runners on first and third and no outs. But the ball never lies. And the next 2 ABs by Aaron Beatty and Stanfield, they would have back-to-back strikeouts. And when teams gift you things, you got to take a hold of, because you're leaving 5 runs that you could have had on the board. 5 runs. What did you win by? Or wasn't it 7-2? Right? If I'm not mistaken here, was it not 5-2 or 7-2? Excuse me. I'm looking for the score. Yeah, 7-3. Excuse me. So you're leaving 5 runs on the board just in those innings alone. Not even to mention you not really capitalizing to start off the game when you hit into a 5-4-3 double play. So you did some really good things. A pair of home runs and back-to-back innings from Danny Dickinson and Jared Jones, but you do hit into a ground ball double play. You almost hit into another one, but they created an error, and you get runners on and you strike out 4 times in 2 innings combined. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. You got to be better there, because if you're not and you do that against other teams, then you'll be in trouble. But you didn't. You did it against this team. Curiel in the top of the 6th would fly out to get out of the inning. Bottom of the 6th, Anthony Ianson would lead the inning off with a walk. He would get a ground out to Jared Jones, where he bobbled it at first a little bit, but gets the out. A ground ball single by Hollins into the 5-hole. So you got runners on first and third. And Anthony Ianson gets out of it by a miraculous 5-4-3 double play to get you out of it. Tigers still lead 3-2. Top of the 7th, Jones Dickinson would go down in order with a fly out into center field, and Danny Dickinson would strike out, but Jake Brown would hit a massive bomb into right field to make it 4-2. Guys, Jake Brown's one of the best hitters against right-handed pitching. I said it last night. I'm going to repeat it again. The dude is really hot right now against righties. I think he's been exceptional the last couple of weeks. Hell, even maybe you can make the argument the last month. It's just that you're seeing a lot of lefties, and he doesn't hit well off of them. Go back to A&M. Go back to the game one against Tennessee. Guys, he struggled. Go back against Arkansas. Literally go back to last week. And if you go back to last week, you would see that he just struggles there. But the dude is red hot against righties. Good on him. Makes the score 4-2. Fry would hit the ball to the shortstop, but an error would incur. But Garino would come in out of the bullpen for South Carolina, and Milan would fly out into center field. Bottom of the seventh. I was surprised that Anthony got through 7 complete there. Pitch count was already over 100, and I was like, man, maybe he gets a batter or two, goes 6 1/3, 6 2/3 if he's lucky. But, man, he mowed him down in the 7th. He gets stoned to ground out to the shortstop. He gets a strikeout and a ground out to second base. Guys, he did it on 9 pitches. So Anthony Ionson's day is done through 7 innings. Here's the truth. Did he have his best stuff today on the road? No, he did not. His best stuff, he allowed 2 runs and went 7 innings. If that's the worst with him right now, then good googly moogly. Because, I mean, he's been very efficient. He at some point he was bound to give up a run. He didn't do it a couple of weeks ago against A&M. He didn't do it last week, or he gave up 1 run last week, or 1 run to A&M, excuse me. Gave up no runs last week. And then today, he gives up a pair of runs, so 3 runs in 3 starts. And he's gone a minimum of 6 innings in all of those. Guys, that's elite shit, if we're just being honest. Very elite shit. So, didn't have the best stuff today, but, man, he got 6 strikeouts. He got a lot of ground ball outs. To South Carolina's credit, look, you're in a situation for Anthony Ionson where, guys, a lot of these dudes, a lot of these seniors, guys, South Carolina had 10 seniors that all saw action this weekend. Of those 10 seniors, guys, this is the last time a lot of them are going to play baseball. They had nothing to lose. And I, for what it's worth, thought that South Carolina played as much South Carolina baseball as I've seen this year. I thought they played more inspired against you than any other team I've seen them play against. By the way, they didn't have their best hitter in Ethan Petrie. Guys, a lot of these dudes are not going to play more baseball. This is it for him. 10 of those guys, maybe a couple of them can get a nod or a look in Major League Baseball. I don't know if they will. Guys, this was it for them. And they put the ball in play a lot today on Anthony Ionson. They saw the off-speed stuff really good, and they put the ball in play. Good on them. Good on them. They went toe-to-toe with you for 7 innings. They went toe-to-toe with you. And Anthony getting out of the situation he did was flawless and brilliant. Guys, after giving up that second run, after giving up that home run to Hollins, he would get Carrion, Stone, Scobie, Braylon, Hall, Jackson, Kazmar, or Wyota, Hollins, Kerrison. Then he go 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. And, you know, I'm gonna bring this up because Jay said this last night in the postgame. There's only, I guess, one media member that goes to away games. But did y'all listen to Jay Johnson's postgame yesterday? Where it was like, Cokie Riley of The Advocate asked him, are you worried about Anderson giving up the home run or something to that extent? He said he gave up a run, dude. Oh, God. Guys, I feel like when they might give up a run, but there's gonna be a time, and they've shown this. Ianson and Anderson have shown this. There's gonna be at some point where they lock into the game. It might be even to start the game off, but they're gonna get locked in and they're gonna start mowing dudes down. That's against an elite lineup in Arkansas, a really good hitting lineup in Tennessee, which Tennessee just can't pitch right now. Liam Doyle got rocked last night. Remember that guy that came in here on Friday and shoved against you? Guys, Arkansas beat the shit out of him. He allowed, I think it was 7 runs yesterday. He allowed 7 runs against that Arkansas lineup that Anderson and Ianson vehemently pretty much dig down, if we're just being honest. And that's baseball. But I just feel like after you've seen the last month of them, there's going to be a stretch where they really shove. After the home run in the 4th inning on Ianson, after that, guys, he was pretty fucking elite. He was pretty elite. He gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and he had no strikeouts. He had no strikeouts in any of that. He had 1. He had 1 in the 7th. All of the balls, all the other pitches were put in play. So remember in the beginning, we talked about, look, man, through two innings, he had a pitch count that was over 40. How long was he going to be able to go? Well, he worked through it. He pitched to contact. The philosophy started to change with him. It's like, hey, man, I got to give our team some stretch here and some length. I'm going to let him hit it, but I'm going to put it in a place where they got to hit the ball into the ground. And after the home run, he gave up 2 fly outs in the 4th. So 3 fly outs. He had 2 ground ball outs. He had a double play, another ground out. He was letting them put the ball in play to get him out of there quickly. Good on him, man. I said it last weekend. I'll say it again. I do think you have the best 1-2 lineup. Well, I do feel as if that you have the best 1-2 starting combo on the mound in the country right now. I don't think that anybody wants to come into the box and see those two. And the way that you swing it right now at home, I don't think anybody wants to see you in the country. Because you leave the regular season here being the number 1 team. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But it is what it is there, man. It is what it is there. Anthony Ianson was flawless. Let's finish this out before we start wrapping this up and get into y'all's comments. Top of the 8th, Braswell would hit a ground ball to the third baseman to get out. Aaron Beatty would strike out looking. Stanfield would hit a line drive single into left field. Curiel would hit an RBI ground ball in the right field after Stanfield advanced to second on a wild pitch. Jones would line out to the shortstop. Maverick Rizzi comes in for a pitcher, gets hauled to ground out to first base. Cooper Williams would come in for the second batter and would get a strikeout on Jones. And then Casimir would hit a home run into right field on Williams. And then you get Wayota to ground out to second base, but Stephen Milam was there in the shift to get out of it. I don't know why Rizzi came in for one batter. Ask Jay, have no clue. Don't think it cares. But they look fine in doing it. They look really fine in doing it. But the score there at the home run with Casimir is 7-3. Dickinson would line out to left field, double in a line drive in the right center field by Brown. Fry would strike out, but Stephen Milam would 6-3. Excuse me. Stephen Milam would give you the 7th run by getting an RBI line drive single in the right field, and that would be it. So you'd score 7 today. Bottom of the 9th, Hollins would go down via the strikeout. Carry on by Shores would hit a little weak one to the catcher, right at the catcher, right in front of the catcher, excuse me. And then you get the out, and then Scooby would strike out to end it Chase Shores has not been bad at the back end of the bullpen. So let's get to this. LSU leaves. Let me start over. LSU leaves the regular season being the number one team in the country. They're going to be the 3 seed in the SEC tournament. And guys, quite frankly, I think that they're a top 8 lock. I think winning 2 out of 3 this weekend has solidified you being a lock. Now, do you want to go into the tournament and win a game? Sure. I'm with you. I get it. Solidify it by doing that. Hell, you win 3 games in the tournament with the double bye, you win the whole damn thing. I don't know if Jay doesn't want to go in there and win the whole damn thing if it's a 3-game sample size. I don't know if guys are going to be on pitch counts or not, but it will tell you what Jay Johnson thinks and what he knows by how the tournament is structured. If Cade Anderson goes out there and is limited to 75 pitches, if Anthony Ianson is the same and limited to 75 pitches, Jay Johnson is not going to risk not being a top 8 national seed and this thing not running through Baton Rouge. I do think that could be a thing that happens. I have no idea how Jay goes into the series and what could be a 3-game sample size for you to win the damn tournament. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I have zero clue. But one thing is for sure. For me, you've locked it down. I know a week is a long time. You got from today until next Sunday. Tons of things around the tournament can happen. Because there's a couple of things here for me. Number one, you're going to be, let's just say that I'm right, and you're going to be a top 8 national seed. Guys, based off of the way that you ended the regular season last year, and you had some momentum, but you go against a team that went to Omaha and North Carolina, you kind of built off of it. You went in the portal, you added some pieces, you get through the regular season, and guys, you're the number 1 team in the country leaving the regular season. Postseason starts soon. Hell, postseason starts on Tuesday. But you are leaving the regular season ranked the number 1 team in the country, coming off of a win on the road in the SEC. And quite frankly, I don't know there are things that this team has got to get better at. Yes. There are things that LSU clearly has got to fix, especially when they're on the road. But one thing is for sure, to all of those out there saying during the season, fire Jay and you getting run ruled by Northwestern State in a midweek because Bear Jones can't field the ground ball at third base. Guys, we got to be real and realistic with where we sit and where we stand. Guys, I think you're a lock. I know that there are media members, as I'm being sent this already on Twitter, that think that you're not. I disagree with them. And if Jay Johnson goes out there on Friday, Thursday, whatever day you play, I think it might be Friday, right? Because it's the double play. You play I think you play on Friday. It doesn't matter. But regardless of that, you're going to know what he's going to think. And I'll tell you this. I know your head coach. You know your head coach. And there's no way in double hockey sticks that he's not going to know if he's going to be a lock for a top 8 seed before he goes into that tournament. He's going to know. And you're going to ask me, well, Blake, how will he know? Well, he's going to know. And if I got to go run out here and say sources, I'm telling you, Jay's going to know. Understand who the president of the selection committee is. Understand it. He's going to know. He's going to know. So we'll see. There does become a decision, though, of what we'll talk about next week. What does Jay do? Look, you win 3 games, you win the fucker. The competitor in me says, go for it. Like when Rocky 3, when Clubber Lang in the second fight goes up and walks up to Rocky right before the bell rings in round 1. And Clubber Lang says, I'm going to bust you up. And Rocky looks at him with the eye of the tiger and says, go for it. That's me. The competitor in me says, go for it. the tournament, the SEC tournament, doesn't mean shit if you lose in a regional. Doesn't mean shit. And quite frankly, I don't really give a shit personally about the tournament, but the competitor in me says, yeah, go win it. Don't extend Kate Anderson. I'm not saying anything like that. Don't extend Anthony Ianson or anything like that. But you get what I'm saying. But the bottom line remains. The bottom line is that regardless if you are or not, go win a game. Cool. Win a game in the tournament. Sounds great. And if you do that, then it make you feel comfortable being a top 8 seed. Sounds good. I don't buy the RPI. You're sitting at number 8 in the RPI. I don't give two Rudy Poos about what that RPI says. I could give two Rudy Poos. You're leaving the weekend ranked the number 1 team in the country with beating teams like Arkansas, beating teams like Tennessee, beating teams like Oklahoma on the road and sweeping them. Guys, you won 19 games in the SEC. And you're going to sit here and you're going to try to convince me that they're not going to be in the top 8. If you're going to be that Rudy Poo, if you're going to let people convince you that that's going to happen, don't be a Rudy Poo. 19 wins and you think that they're not 19 wins in the SEC and you think they're not going to be in the top 8? Don't be a Rudy Poo. Because they're going to continue to be the number 1 ranked team in the country. Maybe they stay at number 3. Maybe they drop down 2 spots. I don't give a fuck. They're not going to drop, is what I'm saying. The last time you did it, you were what, the 3rd seed, the 4th seed? When Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz here, you ended the season number 1. Oh, the RPI. Guys, you ain't falling out that thing. By the way, you went 1-2 in the tournament. Now, this is single elimination. The tournament now is single elimination. You went 1-2 in the tournament. And Jay said, I'm capping everybody. By the way, Tommy Tanks ain't playing. He was injured. Yeah, he was injured. Uh-huh. It's going to be a very interesting decision to make. Look who it is. The Nashville native, the 615 native. Chris Phillips with a $2 super chat. Says LSU a top 8 national seed, question mark. See, Chris is trying to clip this. He quoted this. Everybody moan with me. He's trying to get me again. Chris, I know what Chris is doing here. Chris is trying to get me again. Everybody moan with me. I got to tell you, guys, ending the season as the number 1 team in the country, yes. So to Chris's question, yes, I 1,000% believe that you're a top 8 team. Who are the other 8 teams besides LSU you would put ahead of them? Let me ask that question. What other 8 teams are you going to put above LSU? Who are they? Who are they? Hold on. Hold on. I don't think you put Georgia ahead of them. I don't think you put Vandy ahead of them. I don't think you put fucking Oregon ahead of them. Auburn has the claim because they beat you. And you beat Arkansas. I mean, who are you going to put there ahead of them? I think it's silly to me. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm trying to decide. I mean, Vandy, maybe. That would be the question that I ask. That would be the question that I ask. Is who are you going to put ahead of them? I just don't think that you're on the bubble either. Chris also says the SEC tournament doesn't mean shit, but someone has to win it. Why not us? I mean, that would be the point. right? Like, that would be the point. I mean, it's 3 wins, right? Like, I mean, it's not like that you're having to. Didn't we play on a Tuesday that year that we won the national 23? I think we played South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Thatcher Hurd shoved against South Carolina, and I think we played on a Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, right? So, I mean, and LSU ain't got to be there till Friday or Thursday, whatever the day. Guys, they don't have to stay in South Carolina, right? Like, they don't have to stay in South Carolina. And right now, the top 4 teams in the SEC is Texas, who, if we're going to be honest, Texas will be a top 8 seed for sure. But if we're being truthful, based off of them not having their ace and still being a little beat up, I know they got Max Ballou. I think he hit a bomb this weekend. Like, I don't know if they're better than you right now. Let them come to the box and see what happens. We just played them on the road. What happens in the best of 2 out of 3 series if they come to the box? What happens then? What happens then? They ain't winning that. I'm just going to tell you, they're not winning that. Won't happen. Won't happen. By the way, when they come to the box next year, I'm going to lose my fucking collective mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Because I don't like them. They don't like us. Anyway, yeah, why not? Why not us? Griffin Herring says, Ivan, yeah, he's been killing it. He's been killing it. All right. Let's get out of here. We'll see y'all again on Monday, man. Great series win. You end the season being ranked number 1. Fantastic. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. Got to love it. We'll see y'all soon, man. Y'all have a good night. We're out of here.